prospering, because I believe we all can prosper together. And today I just wanted to talk to you all about I just wanted to give you all my relocation story, relocating from Alabama to Texas as a single mom, and some of the mistakes that I wish I wouldn't have made, or some things I wish I could go back and undo. So let's go ahead and get started. And first off, I want to encourage you all, just because you're a single mother, or just because your life isn't going the way it is, or just because you don't have the support system that you need, the support system that you think you need, or the support system that you want, does not mean that you can't get up and make a move. So if it's been on your heart to, get up and make a move and relocate, then I would say pray about it. And I would say make moves, that will eventually make that happen for you. Now with my story, I've been wanting to relocate from Alabama to, another state, not necessarily Texas, but I did want to relocate for a while now. I remember when my son was born, I always would tell people, like, look, I'm not going to be here that much longer. I'm going to be relocating to here. It was Atlanta one year, then it was Tennessee one year, and then it was New Orleans another year. But I always had plans to get up and go, but I never had the faith to get up and do it. I was always too scared. I was always wondering, what if this happened, or what if that happens? Until eventually 3 years ago I got saved, and my faith in God has grown so strong. If it wasn't for my faith in him, I don't think I would have been able to make the move. So last year in June, I decided that I was going to move to Austin, Texas. And you may say, why? I get the question a lot. Why Austin? Why Texas? Why did you decide to move? Why not? But I prayed on it, and I asked God, and he just dropped Austin, Texas in my spirit. Austin was nowhere on my radar. If I would have chosen, it would have been Dallas, or it would have been Houston. If I was to come to Texas, it would not have been Austin. So I researched Austin. The original plan was to bring my son to Austin for his birthday, which was in September. However, that plan went out the window because I'm so spontaneous. It's like as soon as, God tell me something, or as soon as, I get something in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, then I'm going after it full force. So I told my mom, and my mom, Kingston, my 9-year-old son, and myself, we drove to Austin. We booked the room. We tried to apartment search, but it didn't go so well. We tried to view the city, but we was only here for a day, I think, if I remember correctly. We was here for a day, so everything didn't go as planned. So we went back to Mobile. That's where I'm from, Mobile, Alabama. We went back to Mobile. My plan was, hey, I'm moving in August. The original plan was to move in November, but I changed it. I'm like, I'm moving in August. I'm leaving. I'm out. I don't care what I have to do. I'm moving. So I got to planning. I calculated how much money I would need. I started searching for apartments. I started searching for schools. I started searching for, jobs. I just started searching, and I just started trying to pray. At times I would doubt, like, God, I don't think this is what I need to do. I don't think this is what you want me to do. But then I would pray, and he would always confirm, through someone. If I was watching maybe like a sermon or something, or if I was reading a Bible, then he would throw a scripture at me, such as I'm with you wherever you go, or a fear sermon, would be being preached that I would stumble upon. It was always confirmation there. And I know that we're not supposed to live in fear. We're not supposed to operate in fear. And then worst case scenario, if things didn't work out here, I can always go back home. So why not? So I put that fear behind me, and I just started grinding to get the money up to, where I needed to be. I sold everything. 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, fully furnished, everything mine. I sold everything. If it could not fit in my car, I sold it. I had to go. I had to get my money up. I was working at a food delivery company called Waiter in Mobile, Alabama. And when I tell you God showed out, I made the most money in that month, than I had made working there for the past couple of months. It was, it was supernatural. Like, people were giving me tips, cash tips. Not only were they tipping in the app, but they were giving me cash tips. And I was making so much money, so I had to think, like, maybe I should stay here because money is good. But I had to put that thought behind me. So I made my money. I sold everything in my home. And I had things left over from me trying to start boutiques. The previous years, I had like a box of clothes, brand new boutique clothing, waist trainers, everything. I put it online to sell for $50, but God came through and I sold it for $150 instead of $50. It's like I sold everything in my house. People just came and they, ramshacked and took everything. Praise God. But we were scheduled to leave on August 27th, I think. Me and my son, we were in the room, and we had a pallet with the little covers, because I had sold our beds. I had sold everything. If it couldn't fit in my car, I was selling it, because my mind frame, my mental is like, why rent a U-Haul truck, pay thousands of dollars for a U-Haul truck when everything in my house is not even worth taking it. I mean, I could get new things, and it was time for new things anyway, because I had that furniture and things for some years. So I got up, and I remember the morning I woke up, it was like a fear. I had never felt it in my life. And I'm like, maybe we shouldn't go. Maybe we should just stay, because I'm about to take my 9-year-old, well, he was 8 at the time. I'm about to take my 8-year-old son to a path of the unknown. I'm about to drive him 9 hours and 30 minutes away, 2 states over. I have no family. I don't even know how it's going to work. But I got up, I prayed about it. I got up, and we got in the car, gassed up. I got my coffee, he got his orange juice, we got breakfast, and we took the drive. It was a long drive. My car was packed, and we were just driving. I can't drive that long without stopping, so I stopped whenever I feel like it. I stopped maybe like 5 times. A 9-hour and 30-minute drive take us about 10 hours and 30 minutes, because I stopped so much. But we got here. Now, mind you, I hadn't seen our apartments. I had applied online and got approved, and I didn't have to pay anything until we got here. Well, except for my online application fee and all of that. So we got here. We got to the apartments. They were really nice, really nice. So I signed my lease. We drove through the gate, drove around to find our apartment, and me and my son unloaded the car. And when I tell y'all, it was so hot. Like, it was hot, burning hot. Yup. Hot. I almost fainted trying to carry a 42-inch TV upstairs by myself, and we lived on the 3rd floor. So we got settled. We didn't have any furniture. I went to Walmart and got us air mattresses, and the basic things that we needed, because I know I'm not afraid to start off. Like, I know God provides for me. He always provides for me. That furniture that I sold, he provided that for me supernaturally. It's just, I wasn't afraid to take, when he threw it in my face, I wasn't afraid to take the move. I wasn't afraid to spend the money I needed to spend to get it. So I knew that he was gonna provide for me again. So the materialistic things, that's not important. I'm not gonna let some materialistic things hold me back, from a future that I see that I can have. So we get settled, go to Walmart, get the air mattresses and the basic things we needed. Okay, so things are going good until I got, okay, on my application, when I did the application, they were supposed to charge a $200 holding deposit or something, and the rest of the deposit I could pay when I get here. So they didn't charge that. So on my first month's rent, they sent me a letter like, hey, we didn't charge you this $200. We need to charge it to you right now with this rent. I'm like, hold up. My rent already $1,200 on top of lights, water, gas, car note, car insurance, renter's insurance, and other bills I had. Then we were living in a school district, so what Kingston had to pay for lunch. And I'm like, so I gotta pay for lunch every day. And then I still had to buy groceries. So mind you, I don't have anybody helping me. I'm a single mother. I don't have any government assistance. I don't have any type of man helping me. Because I do realize that, when you receive something from somebody, you better expect to give something back in return. And that's just not where I'm at. That's not been there, done that. I'm not trying to, I would say I'm not trying to knock anybody who do it, but your body is a temple. Your body is a temple of God. So you should never sell yourself, sell your body in that type of way to get monetary things. Like, it's just disrespect, not only to God, but to yourself. So I love myself. I have come to a place, I've came past all of that, and I've come to a place where I love myself too much than, to have a man paying my bills and have a man giving me money. I'd rather struggle before I do that, because I know eventually that I'm going to have to turn around and do something for him in return. And that's negative. I'm not selling my soul. So anywho, I'm in Texas. I'm like, that month when they told me, my rent was going to be $1,365. Mind you, I've downgraded from a 2-bedroom, 2-bath to a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and my rent has went up $200. So, and then on top of that, they're trying to throw another $200 on me. So I'm like, I can't do it. So I did it that month. I was late, and here in Texas, at those particular apartments, it's $50 a day when you're late. So I paid that month. I paid $1,575, I think, for rent, because I was late on paying my rent, trying to pay all my other bills and include that extra $200, because I was already kind of pushing it on my monthly budget. So I did that actually for 2 months, and I'm like, something gotta give. So I started reaching out to apartment locators, because I've only been here for 2 months at that time, and I didn't know, I didn't know what area was good and what area was bad. I didn't know, what area had the lowest rent and what area had the highest market rent. I didn't know any of that. So I started reaching out to apartment locators, and I located one, and she helped me find another apartment. And it's actually $200 cheaper. But here in Texas, you have to pay, everything is separate, like your lights, water, gas, all your utilities are separate, and nothing is included in your rent, as it was in Mobile. I was paying $980 for a 2-bed, 2-bath, a luxury apartment, and water and gas is included. The only utility I had to pay was lights. But here it's different. You pay your rent, and then you pay your utilities separate. So it was good for me. That was in my budget. I'm like, okay, so I moved. I couldn't do it. I bailed out. So they sent me a letter saying that they were going to send it to a collection agency and place it on my credit. So I was like, okay, when it goes to the collection agency, I'll just dispute it, because I've been working on my credit really long and really hard. Like, I've been working on my credit since January, and I've got it from a 480. Right now, it's a 648. I've gotten it from a 480 to a 648, and it's still going up, because eventually, not right now, I do want to buy a house. So I want the best interest rates that I can get for my house. I know, some people say you can get a house with a 620. I had a realtor tell me I can get you in the house, if you have a 620, but I know my interest rates are going to be sky high, and that's going to be, I'm going to be limited to the amount of money that I can get for my house. So no, I'm just going to get my credit where I want my credit to be where it needs to be, or where I want it to be, so that I can qualify for the loan that I want, and my interest rates are not going to be sky high. So, and I also need my money to be at a particular bracket before I become a homeowner, because when you buy a house, you need to have your credit and your finances in order, or you just set yourself up for failure. But anyways, back to credit. I've been working on my credit too long to to go backwards, and I do know collections, amounts owed, payment history is 35% of your credit score. So that will possibly drop my score down if I allow this broken lease to get on to be reported to my credit. Not only will it drop it down by about 150 points, but it will also prevent me from being able to move, from being able to obtain another lease, or when I do get ready to buy a house, no one is going to give me a mortgage with a broken lease on my credit. So I knew I had to, I couldn't let it go that far. So I called the collection agency. No, the collection agency contacted me once they received the account. So I called them. Well, I tried to dispute it first, because the Fair Credit Reporting Act says we have the right to dispute anything on our credit report, and it has to be verifiable, and it has to be accurate. So I put them to the test. I disputed it. But behold, they had the lease, the signed lease. It was too new for them not to have it. So they had the signed lease. So they sent me the signed lease saying, hey, this is yours. You signed the lease. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing else I can do but pay it. So I set up payment arrangements, which I'm paying to this day. It's I wouldn't even call it a setback. I would call it a blessing, I guess, because a setback would be if it would have been posted to my credit. So that's a mistake that I made when I moved here. I know y'all probably was expecting a lot of mistakes, but I don't have a lot of mistakes, because I prayed about this move, and I'm not gonna say that I planned it really long, because I didn't, but I do know that we make our plans, but God orders our steps, and I do believe that He has been ordering my steps in this move. So I don't really have a lot of regrets and a lot of mistakes. Now, some things that I don't like about Texas is you have to pay for your bags in Walmart. I know that's petty, but what happened to free bags? Like, you have to pay, is it 10 cents for a paper bag, a brown paper bag? And then I call myself, every time I go to Walmart, I would put my bags up. And then I would, I would be like, okay, I'm taking them to Walmart whenever I go back shopping. So I won't have to pay for bags, but I always forget. So that's what I don't like, and I know it's petty. Another thing, I want to go home a lot because I miss my family, I miss my loved ones, of course. But hopefully, shout out to y'all. If y'all watching this, y'all will come visit me real soon. That's about it. I like Kingston like his school. And another thing, I regret is having to move. So since we moved apartment complexes, he's had to change schools. So I really don't like switching him and his schools that often, because when I was a child, I switched schools a lot. So I never really had the chance to make, lifelong friends. I never had the chance to develop friendships because I moved a lot, and I don't want that for him. So that's another thing that I regret. I really don't have any other regrets for y'all. I probably would have regretted if I didn't get up and make that move. Like, I would still be sitting there like, I should have left, or what if, or I should have did this. So since I came to Texas, I've written a book, Power Goals, a simple guide to restoring your credit and finances. It gives my credit story. testimonial. It gives it's an informational on if you want to dispute your credit. Everything you need to know about disputing and get results is in that book. It gives you steps on how to create a budget and how to increase your finances, how to change your financial situation. It's on Amazon. I've written a book. I've started my business, Power Goals LLC, the legal way. Paperwork, everything is legal. I have a vision. Like, since I came here, God started giving me ideas and visions, and I think sometimes we be wanting to know what are we supposed to do in life, or what's the next step we could take, but we're not taking the first step he told us to take. Like, you want answers, but you're not moving, to where he tell you to move in order to get those answers. Like, that reminds me of a story in the Bible when Abraham, God told Abraham, he told him to go. He just told him to pack up his stuff and go. Like, he didn't even tell him what, he just said go. And he also told him not to take his family. His family Lot. He told him he had a nephew Lot. He told him not to take it, but Abraham took him. And it says, it's one part in the Bible that says Abraham didn't hear from God again until he disconnected himself from Lot. So some of y'all, or some of us, we have people around us that God tells us to disconnect ourselves from. But we don't disconnect ourselves from them, so we don't see the blessings that we're supposed to see. Or God tell us to go to this place, and we don't go because we're too scared, so we don't see the blessings that we're supposed to see. We're still stuck in our old ways, doing the old things that we were used to doing, receiving the old stuff that we need to receive. When God, he has unlimited blessings for you. His hand is big. He owns all this. Like, this, it's a world full of opportunities. Like, it's a big world, a huge world. Like, I don't think we should be stuck in one place doing one thing with a mind this little, with thoughts this big. I just don't, I don't see it. Like, you got to open your mind to the possibilities around you. Like, open your mind to the places you could go, to the things you can do, to the things God have for you if you just, get with the program. So that is my relocation story. I really hope it helps someone. Like, and most people be like, well, I'm a single mother, so I don't see a way I can do it. That's just a small way of thinking. Or like, I have too many kids, I don't see a way I could do it. That's just, I hate the word can't, because we all can do anything we put our mind to. So don't let your current situation limit your future. Like, that can be changed. It really can. So, just do it. Like Nike. Just do it. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.